you support the organization again if Tedros is immediately replaced, or do you want to see him step down as possible reform?
Well, we're doing an investigation. I don't know the gentleman, but I know there have been problems, and it's been very unfair to the United States, just like the World Trade Organization has been very, very unfair, and now they're coming into line. When they consider China a developing nation, and because China's a developing nation, they take massive advantage of the United States. Why didn't other presidents stop this? I've been talking about it from the day I got in, and we're looking at that very, very strongly. World Trade, So I have a problem with World Health and World Trade, both of them. I'm not sure which is worse, you want to know the truth, but we'll figure it out, okay? Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. You were just criticizing the WHO for praising China as transparent, but you were saying many of the same things about China just a couple of months ago. So, I mean, how do you square your decision to...
Well, I did a trade deal with China, where China's supposed to be spending $250 billion in our country. We're going to be watching very much to see. Now, it got a little bit waylaid by the virus. But look, I'd love to have a good relationship with China. But if you look, and we made a phenomenal deal. China has paid, because of me, China has paid us tens of billions of dollars over the course of a very short period of time. Billions of it. Some of that money has been spent to farmers where they were targeted by China. We cannot let that happen. We can't let that happen. So we ended up signing a very good trade deal. Now I want to see if China lives up to it. I know President Xi. I think he will live up to it. If he doesn't live up to it, that will be okay, too, because we have very, very good alternatives. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Today, 600,000 cases, 25,000 deaths. I know you want to blame the WHO, but I've spoken to hundreds of people across the country in the last few weeks who say they still can't get tested, and that they aren't social distancing because
so
they...
the governors, Excuse me. I know your question. You ready? The governors are supposed to do testing. It's up to the governors. Go ahead, please.
Mr. President,
go ahead, please.
If we could just get back.
Quiet.
If we could just get back to May 1. Mr. President,
they are following your lead. That they are not social distancing.
The governors are doing the testing. It's now not up, and it hasn't been up to the federal government. Go ahead.
Mr. President, I'm going to have a quick follow on the WHO, but if May 1...
I told them when they put this guy here, it's nothing but trouble. He's a showboat. If you keep talking, I'll leave, and you can have it out with the rest of these people. If you keep talking, I'm going to leave, and you can have it out with them.
It's a simple question.
Just a loudmouth. Go ahead.
If you could...
Please, go ahead, behind you.
Yes, just a quick question. You spoke about Governor Cuomo. Just wondering if you have any thoughts on some of his remarks from earlier today, where he basically said that were New York to be pressured to be open, it would cause a constitutional crisis. And he basically said that you declared yourself King Trump. So I'm wondering if you heard those thoughts.
I've declared myself as king. You know, I heard he said that, but I didn't see the remarks. But he understands how we helped him. He needed help. We gave him 2,900 hospital beds. He didn't use them. We gave him a ship. He didn't use them. And I'm not saying, but I'm saying that's good, because you know what? That means he didn't need them. But we said it was too much, but we wanted to err. We said, err on the side of caution, as I said. We said, look, we don't think you need it, but if you do, we're going to have them built. And the Army Corps of Engineers did a fantastic job, and the U.S. Navy did a fantastic job, and we moved the ship that was not meant for COVID, and we had it redesigned for COVID, but they still didn't have very many people going in. Now, we'll get along just fine. He understands. We'll get along just fine, please. I don't know that people are going to be shaking hands as readily. Some will. I said to some of the hospital people today, so will people be shaking hands again? And I must say, I was a little surprised. Most of them said probably, because there is some kind of a thing to it. I was never a big handshaker, but when I ran for politics, I said, I think I better start shaking people's hands. Go ahead, John.
Mr. President, a couple of financial questions, if I could. Larry Kudlow said this morning that at the current run rate, the Paycheck Protection money will run out very soon. The plan to re-up it is stalled in Congress. What can you do as president to try to move that forward?
Well, we're trying to get it done. The problem is the Democrats want to put all sorts of things. Last time they put Kennedy Center in. I hated putting Kennedy Center in. I have great respect for Kennedy Center. But I hated putting it in the bill because it's just not appropriate, right? But they wanted it in. for whatever reason. They had their own political reason. And John, I said, watch the way that blows up, and it blew up. I think it blew up in their face. We want to take care of our workers. We'll worry about other things and other pet projects of Democrats and also Republicans later. But it's been a tremendously successful program. I think you see it. The banks have stepped up, hundreds of thousands of loan applications approved. Money is going out. It's been a tremendous program. Really, it's been. And obviously, it was at a point where we're almost, the money will be expired, and we could use a refill for the workers. We want to be able to make sure that small businesses stay open, John, and I think that'll happen. Yeah, in the back, go ahead, please.
Mr. President, thank you very much. I have two questions. One is from a
One question.
Person who can't be here, and so I.
Who cares? If you can't be here, that's too bad, right?
All right. Well, one question that I have is about from the United Nations, an economist, Maximo Torero, says that there's a danger that the food supply could be interrupted during this pandemic, and I wanted to know what you're going to do about that.
Well, I think our farmers are incredible. They're producing levels of food like just unbelievable. Our transportation, that's one of the reasons I have the transportation people on the line tomorrow for the delivery of the food. No, we're doing phenomenally with the food, and I will say the stores, Kroger and Walmart, which does a lot of the food, and many of the stores, they seem to be in very good shape, but I haven't heard that at all. We're going to be very strong on food supply. I want to thank you all very much. So a lot of positive things are happening. We're going to have some very strong recommendations for the governors. We're going to work with the governors. The governors are going to do a good job. And if they don't do a good job, we're going to come down on them very hard. We'll have no other choice. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Economic council that you announced, Mr. President, to a point where we have millions and millions